So let's start right into why a GOMOR is important within the military justice system.
Well, with a GOMOR, and essentially for those, if you don't know what a GOMOR is, it's a General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand. In the military, we have to have an acronym for anything. So a GOMOR is a General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand. It's unique to the Army. Only the Army has the GOMOR. Every other service has something similar. They may call it a NIPLOC or something else, like a non-punitive letter of reprimand. But we don't see these given by the other services. We do, but not at the rate we do in the Army. When we do these types of rebuttals, it is 90% Army cases where we're doing rebuttals. The Army loves the GOMOR. And what a GOMOR is when you have a GOMOR, you have 7 days to save your career. And I say that the GOMOR triggers 7 days for you to save your career. You can have a 7-year career. You can be a 17-year non-commissioned officer or an officer. If you get a GOMOR, the clock starts and you have 7 days from receipt of the GOMOR to save your career, bottom line. Now, there's ways to get extensions on that. But when I say you have 7 days to save your career, that is unequivocally true. And so what is a GOMOR? Again, a GOMOR is when the commanding general makes the decision to give you a reprimand, which is why I said General Officer Memorandum of Reprimand. And that's going to be worded saying you are reprimanded. It's going to say what you're reprimanded for. What we see these for is BAH fraud, sexual harassment. We're even seeing these for sexual assault cases, which I can talk about a little bit later in this, as we do this recording. And then from there, you get a copy of the evidence that was used to formulate the GOMOR, and you have 7 days to draft and submit the rebuttal matters. And mind you, you have to understand that the investigation that led up to this may have been going on for a month, 6 months, or even a year. I've seen investigations where you have a service member under investigation for a year, and then it's a huge GOMOR, you have 7 days to respond. And from there, you have to then draft a rebuttal. We can walk through how we draft rebuttal matters, what makes a successful rebuttal, and so on. You draft the rebuttal matters, those get submitted back to the commanding general, and the commanding general makes a decision. The commanding general, he or she has one of 3 decisions to make, with some exception. They can, number one, destroy the GOMOR, tear it up, say, yep, you've rebutted it sufficiently, these events did not occur, and they're going to destroy the GOMOR. The second thing they can do is they can locally file it. That means it gets locally filed, so it doesn't go in your AMHR. It means it goes basically in the top desk drawer, and as long as you don't commit any other additional misconduct before you PCS, that GOMOR is not going to follow you. So it's called locally filing a GOMOR, which is substantially similar to having it destroyed. It's just, hey, don't screw up. If you get a locally filed GOMOR for BH fraud, don't steal any more money in the next 6 months before you PCS, you're good to go. And then if it's permanently filed, that's going to stay in your AMHR or in your permanent file for the rest of your career, which means that promotion boards are going to be able to see this, gaining commands are going to be able to see this, and it's going to drive likely a separation board. If you're an officer, that's a board of inquiry or a BOI or a show cause board, they're kind of one and the same. Or if you're enlisted, it's going to drive an administrative separation board. And so we can walk through kind of what all of those mean, but if you receive a GOMOR and you rebut it and that rebuttal is unsuccessful, your days in the Army are likely done.